So functionalism has some attractiveness as a result of not requiring the human brain. Also, it's not just one snapshot frozen moment in time, but it's several of them, which adds to the complexity, which could, help contribute if somebody, thinks of mental states as complex. But there is a difficulty with it. And that difficulty comes from the qualitative nature of mental experiences. And it's what we call qualia. Qualia. We talked in identity theory about the subjectivity of experience, what it's like to experience green or pain or taste chocolate. Qualia are the qualitative part of that experience. When it's like when experiencing green is like something, that likeness is coming from qualia. But there are scenarios we can imagine where qualia are absent or are different, even though the stimulus and the reaction are the same. Consider, there's one example of by Ned Block, where he says, imagine we can take the entire Chinese nation and create a gigantic functional system for an hour, okay? He chooses China because it has 1 billion people. And so you take the 1 billion people of China and you create a functional system. So there's going to be lights via satellites in the sky, and we're going to light up different lights in different parts of China. All the people in the different parts of China are going to do different things that are going to result in a process going around and then a result. Okay? Well, if I can do that, if I can create this functional system where I get lights in the sky as the stimulus, and then there's a process. This group of Chinese individuals does one thing, which causes this other group to do something else, which causes this other group to do something else, and so on and so forth. And at the end, there's a gigantic reaction, a gigantic output of some sort of behavior on the part of this functional system. So we have the stimulus, we have the reaction, we have the process that gets us from one to the other. According to functionalism, it would seem that that functional system has a mental state. If, the stimulus, the lights put out some sort of mathematical equation, and the various parts of the Chinese nation do, each do a different part to solve the problem. And then at the end, the solution to the mathematical equation is produced. Then it would seem as though the entire functional system was thinking about the mathematical problem. But the functional system we created with 1 billion Chinese people wasn't thinking about anything. It didn't have a mental state, right? As a result, we have stimulus, we have reaction, we have process, but we have no qualia. We have no qualitative nature of mental experiences. And that's a problem for functionalism. Okay, so the objection is Consider a functional system that has processes that move from input to output, stimulus to reaction. Functionalism says that this system has mental states because they have processes. But it seems fairly clear they don't have mental states. Right? The same can be said of when we have different qualia. Like if you have two people both looking at the same thing, like two people sitting at a traffic light and they see the red traffic light, there's nothing to say that what it's like for each one of them to experience that color red is the same. Right? We talked about this with the knowledge objection and the subjectivity of experience and identity theory. But again, we're confronted with, it's not clear that they are in fact experiencing those in the same way. But they have the same input, the same stimulus, the red traffic light. They have the same reaction. They're both sitting in their cars with their foot on the brake. And so they have the same process, and yet they have a different mental state. Again, functionalism can't account for this. So functionalism requires, if you have the same the same stimulus, and then you have the same reaction, and thus the process to get from one to the other is the same, the mental state also has to be the same. But it's not clear that we can say with confidence that they are, in fact, the same. Does that make sense?